So, before I begin this playthrough of the Outlast expansion DLC, let me tell you something. On the day that I finished recording the final episode of my initial Outlast playthrough, on the very next day I was going to sit down and play Whistleblower. And I did play Whistleblower. I beat the entire game in a couple of recording sessions. But the microphone audio of it was completely ruined because the fan was on in the background this entire time because it was like 30-degree weather during that day. So the microphone audio was pretty much unusable. So because of that, I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna delete the footage and try again. But this time, it's just going to suck because I'm actually going to be like aware of what's going on. I'm actually going to know what to expect from this game, and the blind playthrough opportunity of it has passed completely, which sucks, but what else can you do? So, I'm just going to try again, pretend that this is a blind playthrough or something, going in hard. The previous time we also did hard. The fan isn't on in the background this time because it's like the weather has cooled down a lot, even though it's like late July. Still kind of bright, but that's because in horror games of them trying to make everything dark, it kind of makes it impossible to see. So I have to put my monitor brightness up. Except with parts like these that are just unbelievably bright and make my eyeballs hurt, Jesus Christ. It's like with a TV when you're trying to hear the voices talking on it, and then the action sequence starts because you put the volume up. You suddenly just go deaf.
What's the matter? Somebody hit you?
Yeah, you did.
Here, let me help.
Yeah, I already made an unfunny joke about this. I'm not gonna repeat it. Yeah, whatever. So, I'm gonna turn the monitor brightness down. Give me a moment.
Sounds like real trouble. At the engine, they said Hope made a lateral ascension.
What do you hope? They're not happy about
Way
it?
better. There we go.
Shit. Come on.
12 hours earlier. This is the same email that Miles receives at the start of the regular Outlast expansion. That UI looks a lot like what the old... I don't think old Google Chrome or like old Mozilla Firefox or Opera interface looked like. I don't remember the browser interfaces very fondly. But I'm pretty sure an interface like that would be a hell of a lot more convenient than the ones that the browsers have nowadays, which sucks. Why is there just a smiley button on the keyboard? And this looks like Windows XP or Windows below Vista, whatever. Send email. These server block textures are really cool. Where's this blue E though? Coffee mug that says coffee classic, but there's no coffee in it. I already said this in the initial Outlast playthrough, I'm pretty sure, but I just want you to listen to this. Give me a moment. Let me go over here. Any minute now. Okay, it was like right there, but I heard very faint chimes, and I was like, and you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the Joy of Creation story mode. I can't remember which level, but one of the passive ambiences in that game, it had like chimes, like birthday chimes or 6 a.m. chimes. Hello.
Mark? They've paged for you 3 times already. There's something urgent at the engine.
Okay.
What are you doing in here anyway? I thought you were just a software guy.
An employee isn't allowed to relax it during a stressful job. You have government level security. You have a security level above the freaking government.
He's been right so far. I just want to know we're inventing
Alright, let
something
me
other
listen
than
in.
shiny new cancer. I'm worried that the stress response is going to affect the capillaries.
Of course. The therapy's relying on it. Hope maxed out at 190?
Parts per million, yeah, but those are precursors to precursors. I'm worried about losing anti-apoptotics.
190 isn't bad. The doctor was predicting assembly by 150.
We're not being given enough information to trust Renick's predictions.
He's been right so far.
I just want to know we're inventing something other than shiny new cancers.
I wonder if any of like the scientists in the
Why
Christ.
weren't you answering the page? I'll tell them you're incoming.
Any of the scientists inside this building actually like questioned on what they were doing was wrong or not. Put your hands on your hips. I've watched 11 drunk guys play this game and it was really funny but also very offensive.
Pick up Jane, and we're headed out to the lake.
That sounds alright.
I didn't think I'd miss her this much. It's the patients who start to realize they haven't seen a woman or a child in, shit, years now, right?
How long's it been since you've seen Jane?
3 weeks now?
That's nothing.
You're serious?
Sure.
You got a girlfriend or somebody?
I'm married.
How long since you've seen her?
Honestly, I'm not even sure. How about you?
Going back to Lead.
Again, maybe not every scientist was bad in this place, they were just
Christ, Whalen, hurry
misled
up,
by
they're waiting on you.
somebody evil.
You're cutting it close. Next patient's incoming in arterial spin, still dark. We need you at the front terminal.
For fuck's sake. They've got Gluskin out of his cell. Page him again. We need this part guy in here now. Tell him he's got 15 seconds to keep his job. Christ.
Well, in that case, I'm just gonna wait. Gluskin. I don't know why games like these I just really like to listen to optional dialogue some non-important characters have to say.
First two is guided dreams.
You're gonna have to ride the APCD hormone feed a little closer this time. We've never had a patient get below 25 million cell deaths per minute. We need to be at 15. Selston could have reached it. In therapy sessions, without chemical assistance, he got down to 30. He had 5 kinds of cancer. Ornicky wants us at 15 APCD. None of this matters if we can't get our apoptosis down to a manageable level.
So it's literally just
You're gonna have to ride the APCD.
So it's literally just you're dead no matter what if you get put in the engine.
Log has the first two as guided dreams, classified as childhood sexual with reptile imagery.
Childhood sexual reptile imagery.
It says,
Let's note to try repeating the pattern with secret.
you thinking stress reaction's going to get us more cytokines?
I'm trying to think of anything like little kids screwing an alligator.
Never had a or C group 25 million cell deaths per minute.
You have the dream therapy logs?
Sure, hold on.
What are these spikes?
They only give me categorical data.
He had 5.
But what's the time code?
Yesterday, we've got one at 2105, another at 1744.31, and a big one at 1938.02.
Let's see. Log has the first two as guided dreams, classified as childhood sexual with reptile imagery.
Childhood sexual reptile imagery.
That's what it says.
Let's note to try repeating the pattern with secret.
You thinking stress reaction's going to get us more cytokines?
I'm trying to think of anything like little kids screwing an alligator.
Or C group.
So just an average post on E621. I have a beef with V61 because they blocked one of my art posts that wasn't even remotely explicit. It was because it didn't meet their quality standards, even though they proceeded to then do an April Fool's event where literally they just gave them MS Paint and low quality drawings were allowed.
Finally, where have you been? Functional imaging interface isn't talking to the ASL. We got a patient 30 seconds out and we're blind inside his head.
Call into the chamber, ask them to delay.
No, I don't need another performance evaluation. Mr. Park here is gonna have us up and running
Code
before
16.
we even know it. Right, Mr. Park? Are we happy, Mr. Park?
Yeah.
Steve? fMRI is still dark.
You're doubting
Doesn't look
our
like
friend,
a-
Mr. Wayland Park?
You can't see him right now, but that guy doesn't look like the same dude that licked our face at the start. That other dude was named
Fuck me, they're
Andrew. This guy's name is Steve, and Steve from Minecraft. Also, those clothed scientists, they look a lot like Heisenberg. Do you have a Heisenberger? Hello, Eddie.
Don't let them. You! I know you can stop this.
What happened to your arms, bro? Why are they larger
Calm
than your
yourself. This
chest?
is a high security.
It's all right.
Why are
Agent.
it so disproportionate to your chest?
I'm sure he's still calm and eager to finish his work. Take your seat. Quickly, Mr. Park. It will need to roll if the fusion monitoring is not active when we put him in the engine.
Isn't it an English-Japanese keyboard?
3.
Arterial spin labeling is back online.
Patient number 196, Yeti Gluskin.
You're finished.
He
Mr.
looks
Wayland
like he's
Park.
allergic to whatever the
Leave.
tube is.
Don't expect anything but honesty in my review.
Rashes. Or maybe he just gets rabies.
You need to exit the room.
There's that comically large camera again. We're being watched. There is no secrecy around this in this place. Hello. What's behind this door? I want to know. I wish Outlast would get a remake that would have like more explorable areas. Those chimes again. I'm telling you, the underground lab sounds a lot like a level in the Joy of Creation story mode. Even though that came out way after that. Those ports are PNGs. Oh, I tried to bring up my camera, but there's no camera. It doesn't even look like a full-size English keyboard. There's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters on the first row, 14 letters on row. There's only 20 letters, bro. How can you work with only 20 letters and 8 numbers? Morin Radio. Morin Solutions. Morin just makes everything in this world, as I told.
Somebody's been telling stories outside.
Hello,
of class.
Jeremy.
On the floor! Down! Hands where I can see them!
Again, a lot of what I had to say is kind of ruined by the fact that I had to do a second playthrough of it.
Software engineer with a level 3 security clearance. Graduated cum laude from Berkeley, but still somehow not smart enough to realize that the last thing a fly ought to do in a spider's web is wiggle.
Keep forgetting the 10 years of experience for a
borrowed
job.
laptop, onion router, and firewall patch would be enough to fool the world's leading supplier
How
of
schizophrenic do you
firewall
need to be
security.
to hack into an onion router?
Stupid, Mr. Park. More than stupid. In fact, that was
Onion router
crazy.
is what you use for like
I'm afraid
dark
we're
web and
gonna have you
stuff.
committed.
An onion router
Mr.
just
Park,
to send
will
an
you
email.
willingly submit to forced
Not even like
confinement?
a government level threat email.
Did you
Just
hear that, Agent?
an email.
He said yes, Mr. Blair.
Great.
I don't know
Oh,
what
and,
hearing organ
did I
is
just hear Mr.
botched in
Wayland
your
Park volunteer
head,
for
but
the morphogenic
that's not what
imaging
I said.
program?
Well, that's what I heard.
That's also not what I said.
That was brave indeed, Wayland. The Murkoff Corporation and the onward march of science both appreciate your bravery and sacrifice.
It's okay, guys. He's gonna die
You
another
could
24
administer
hours
the
from now,
like
anyways.
anesthetic.
Gladly.
Same with your friend Richard. Rest in pepperoni. Just kidding, we survived because it was only 2 hours of sleeping. Dude, my head still kind of hurts. What the hell? Let me turn it down to 15. There we go. Okay. You know what? Give me a moment. Graphics, gamma, decrease it just a little more. There we go. And another side effect of me doing a second playthrough of this DLC is that I now know exactly where to go and where to look. So now I don't get to appreciate the game as much as I wanted to. Isn't that wonderful?
Hear that, don't you?
Ow! Don't mind what that happened there, I couldn't tell you. Camera. Well, that guy's done for. I screwed up. Oh god, where am I? Hours could have passed, or weeks. Brain filled with static. They made me watch the engine. They made we watch the engine. Have to get help, have to call for help. Lisa, I'm sorry. If I die, I know you'll find me. I know you won't rest until you find my body. I hope you find this camera with my corpse. I hope the evidence I had does what I could, exposes the truth. Lisa, baby, I'm so sorry. I screwed up. I thought I was doing the right thing, but I screwed up bad. The reason why I don't swear in my videos isn't because I'm like afraid of getting demonetized. This channel isn't monetized. I'm just worried about getting my videos age restricted for no reason. I've seen Geometry Dash completions that are like 2 or 3 minutes long. They still somehow get age restricted because they said one swear somewhere in the video. So I just don't want to risk it. Thanks, mate. It's the hour difference is right. The hour chill. Rebooting system. That guy is hyper dead. I did watch, yeah, everything in this country is made either by Morin or by Hellman. It's the only 2 firms. I did watch a Planet of Freddy's VHS horror series. I think it was called Freddy's Jr.'s Origins or whatever, by 12 Men. It's probably, in my opinion, the best VHS horror done for this series. And now the only thing, every single time I see a brain scan in this game, that's the only thing I can think of, like the autopsy video. What are you doing to us, man? What are you looking at? Yeah, that man barely has any clue.
No, sir. Come here.
Okay, give me a moment. I'm trying to explore everything. I'm more of a completionist, even though the only game... Theoretically speaking, I've only 100%ed 1 game in my entire life. 2 games, actually. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. What happened here? Chris Walker probably came by. Open. What happened here? Sort of this. Okay. Not gonna question.
All peeping Tom. Come to join our therapy session. Here, take the blade.
It seems a little rusted. I don't want to grab it.
Get a little red on your hands. It's always healthy to express yourself. You keep it bottled up too long and you might do something you regret. No. You're one of those. Too good for the likes of us. Think you're different? Something special? There are no observers here.
Shut up, bro.
Now, get the fuck out of here before I change my mind.
Boring. Oh, they do have pants on. Never mind. So, who the hell is that other dude? Where did he go? That was one more. Oh, I guess you threw him out because he was spoiling your party. That's fair.
Sucker, trying to go. Come back here!
No, thank you. Thank you. The clock is here. How does it say 9 p.m. if the main game also starts at 9 p.m.? Oh, I think the wall rider came by. Or not, why is he still alive then if the wall rider came by?
Bad idea. We get out of here through reception, and then Merc Tactical will clean it up.
If they get here in time, we need help now. If we get them on the radio, the National Guard could be here with it.
We don't even know the radio works.
It's shortwave. If the prison's got electricity, they've got signal, and the lights are on.
Murkoff has it under control.
Yeah, I noticed. We need to get to that radio.
Outside help.
There's a radio in the prison, shortwave. If it's electronic, it can make it talk. Make it work for me. There's hope, Lisa. I'm coming home to you. My mistake was subtlety, like you always said. I thought leaking information to a few journalists was the safer way. I didn't want the spotlight, the attention. Murkoff is dangerous, I know that. I thought I had to be subtle for your sake, Lisa, for the boys. But I should have exposed what Murkoff is doing to the world. I should have shouted to anyone and everyone. I can't die, not before I reach the radio. They can't cover this up now. It's too broken, too dangerous. Sure thing, bro.
You want responsibility for everything.
I'm sure I'll go well for you, Waylon.
Murkoff Company payroll. I know I don't.
It's too late to worry about that. This just has to stop.
You're scared. You're not thinking straight. Let me make something clear. You tried a radio outside for help.
I'm getting really tired of hearing those violins in the background.
Are you threatening me?
Yes.
By the way, this still isn't going to be the last time I'm going to play the original Outlast for the sake of a playthrough on this channel. There's still... Oh, they just disappeared. That's awesome. There's still one more thing I want to try, and that's the currently only publicly available custom campaign for Outlast, the Colorado Cannibal. Yeah, I don't know anything about it, really, so I'm kind of excited to check it out. Hello. Oops. I guess the reason why it took so long to create a custom campaign for Outlast is because of engine differences. Like, Amnesia: The Dark Descent, it was like more or less open source, and so it had a ton of campaigns that I want to go over one day. Like, off the top of my head, I can name White Knight, Through the Portal, The Streets of London, The Great Work, Tenebrous Lake, La Casa, all these stuff. I could very well just make a Amnesia: Dark Descent series that would go on indefinitely because of how many custom campaigns there are. Same with custom stories for Cry of Fear. Those were really easy to program because Cry of Fear in itself is already a mod for Half-Life. So working in the same engine as Half-Life couldn't imagine it being that difficult. Outlast, however, it was made in like Unreal Engine, and so it was very difficult to program initially anyways, so making mods for it would be just as hard. And Final Fantasy Freddy's is like a quick team engine. I mean, there's a reason why this series took over YouTube in literally every sense of the word.
Help me, please. I'm a doctor. I need to get hold of my... You're not security. I'm a patient like you. Stole these clothes from a dead body I found. You gotta get me out of here. Please, just push the button. Open the door. We can get out of here together.
Are you the same doctor that was at the start? You know what? I'm gonna help you out, mate. I'm gonna help you out. And I knew I was gonna happen. Haha. Ready? But for what? I'd never seen a man die before today, never seen a dead body outside of a coffin, dozens today murdered and worse. I looked into one man's eyes as he never tore him to pieces. Claimed he was a doctor, then saw the rags that dressed me and then changed the story. Said he was a patient, could have been either. They're all scared, crazy, all sick, no real difference between them now. The therapy is spreading. And what am I? I watched this man die and only thought, it's not me, thank God. And no, I'll die someday, I don't want to be murdered. Does anybody want to be murdered realistically? Outside of void fetishists, I guess. I'm sorry, I'm mocking the furry community too much. And I'm not going to stop. Thanks for nothing, Wallrider, get juked. You didn't even try chasing me.
Another one's coming!
Make it to the exit, I want to get out too.
He's one of them! Lock it down, now!
Thanks, pricks. Well, this is a rare moment of calm, so I'll use it to talk because there are actually a couple announcements I still want to make regarding the channels that I now have for good. First of all, if you noticed, if you were aware of the fact that I have 2 channels now, I always had 2 channels, but I just started using my second one a lot more actively than the first because I've been uploading Geometry Dash completions on it. And it's just because I've been actually slowly doing better at the game overall. I've had a couple Extreme Demons completed under my belt, so I'll be doing that. I'll be playing that game mostly on the second channel. For my next playthrough, I've actually decided I'm gonna put Amnesia: The Dark Descent on the back end for now. And what I want to do is I want to do a playthrough on the Final Freddy's game that I always wanted to finish off, regardless of if I finish off the rest of the games or not. And that game is Ultimate Custom Night. I want to do an entire playthrough of the game and a couple of fan mods of it. I wanted to do... I can't remember what exactly I wanted to beat on it. I think it was Ultimatum or Hopeless Pursuit. I don't know exactly. Pretty sure it was Ultimatum. But yeah, expect me to upload the first part of that after I'm done with Whistleblower and the Colorado Cannibal. And then afterwards, I'm going to, after I upload the first initial episodes of Ultimate Custom Night, I'm not going to play Amnesia yet. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple of variety indie horror games. Like, a couple of the ones that I really want to play are Pineview Drive, One Late Night, the Penumbra series, an older version of SCP Container Breach if I can get it to work properly, and also, and I think that's it, that's all I wanted to say. I'll read it in a moment. I forgot what else I wanted to say. Oh, and also I might not just do horror games on this channel. I think I might sprinkle in variety games here and there, like a couple of games that I really want to do playthroughs of because there aren't that many of them on YouTube in general. Are I'm trying to think. I think I want to do Eternal Darkness, which is a horror game, but also I think I'm gonna try doing the Sly Cooper series, or maybe one of the obscure Wii U gems, because I have been playing my Wii U a little more actively than normal. So, could always do that. You know. Right, I've talked about this for far too long. Let's read the document. From Blair to Grant, subject: resignation for mental health 8208. Miss Grant, you may receive requests for information from a Miss Lisa Park of Leadville, Colorado in the coming weeks concerning the resignation and hospitalization of her husband Waylon. If so, please forward them to my personal attention. Waylon Park, former consultant contract 8208, resigned due to previously undiagnosed mental illness. I personally visited Miss Lisa Park and her sons and broke the news to them with the silver lining that Murkoff Psychiatric will be graciously providing treatment. Miss Park had some less than charitable things to say about myself and the Murkoff Corporation. I assured her that with her power of attorney, she could try to fight the doctor's diagnosis of her husband's illness. However, if it were discovered that he resigned under false pretenses, his insurance would be cancelled and the family would be saddled with not insignificant healthcare debts. Hopefully she understood, but if she insists on making a nuisance of herself, or tries to get around me, please let me know. This is one I want to take care of personally. Yours, Jeremy Blair. That's like that one South Park clip where Kyle finds out that he's being made fun of by his... by one of the people at his school. I don't know, I don't actually watch South Park, but my brother loves South Park. Alright. Yeah, I know about that as well, I know. Again, dude, second playthrough. It just doesn't feel the same. And this is what I mean. This is what I mean by the number one flaw that I have with the majority of the horror games that I play. The scares and the magic of it all just wears off completely once you start your second playthrough of it. Once you do more than one playthrough of it, it's just not as interesting anymore. It's not as scary, it doesn't feel the same, the commentary falls flat. Hello, Frank. And this will be the only actual, like, proper second playthrough I might do on this. I don't have plans on playing any of the kinds of these games besides Ultimate Custom Nights and maybe Sister Location. It's a nice soup you got there. But I will be playing a lot of Recipe Container Breach though. Because there's still a lot to discover even after you think the game... Even after you think you've been playing it since forever ago. I mean, Recipe Container Breach was the first horror game I ever discovered. That man's head is active in the microwave. You let it go for too long. Congratulations, idiot.
Don't you look at
And you just screwed up the microwave. Congratulations. Don't ask to see my body, Lisa. When I die, when you finish the losses that let you pry this footage from Murkoff's army of lawyers and corporate hitmen, don't make them show you my body. Just bury it, or burn it. Let my sons remember me whole. That man is eating human flesh. He looks at me and I see anger, a little desire, but more than anything, hunger. Please don't make them show you my body. I mean, again, I wouldn't imagine someone like him going and saying, being fed on nothing more than this and being forced to drink nothing more than just all 7 variations of the same beverage from these vending machines. Another joke I recycled from my initial playthrough. Sometimes I notice in playthroughs around this part when you encounter Frank for the first time, the audio ambience carries over to like the rest of the game until like close to the end where the audio resets properly. Does that even happen?
I think it's safe. Can you climb up? I'm coming, Cooper!
Unlock the handcuffs to open the door. And there's the... There's the return of the number one problem I have with Outlast. You are being fed constantly with fetch quests. Fortunately in the DLC there's only about 2 of these fetch quests, so... I already like it more than the base game. And I already know about this part. Cringe. There's a hole in the wall. Hello. pick up this battery. I hope you don't mind. How can you help me if you can't hear, see, or really talk properly? Then scratch it off. Your arms are. Leave me alone. Got the handcuff key. He's not gonna follow me? Okay. This is like the room of a bald Jeff Bezos patient. Case, whatever, update, whatever. From note, all materials herein to be transcribed according to Form 4083. The forensic revisions as benefits ongoing lawsuits 12-00715. Author Ethan Sriskandarajah. Note, this is a request for a specific legal consultation in the ongoing lawsuit by Melissa Cho against Murkoff Charitable Psychiatry Incorporated, USA, originally filed in 2010. At the time of Ms. Cho's termination, the psychosomatic effects of the morphogenic engine on female employees and patients have been well established. Already more than 7 female employees and patients in a matter of weeks had reached fictitious half-term pregnancies in a matter of weeks before miscarrying the non-existent children, 5 of them fatally. Female employees were moved to higher floors of the facility than to other buildings and eventually entirely off the Mount Massive facility. The critical secrecy of Project War had necessitated secrecy in the moving factor for the reassignments and terminations, resulting in perceived injustice from several terminated parties. Ms. Cho had succeeded in acquiring court-ordered FOIA release of the documents surrounding her termination. Those documents will need to be generated and plus data providing ameliorating information about skirting the relevant secrecy to the project. Please advise Ethan Sriskandarajah, consultant MM214. That makes sense as to why there hasn't been a single woman in this place, besides Grant, but I'm sure she's like far away. She still works for the company. She's not like direct. Is he still in there? I can't hear him anymore. Alright. And now Frank is gonna be behind me once I pass this door. Yep. Told you, man. Once you do one playthrough, it just gets boring. You can't teleport, bro. Shut up. Let's open this up. And there we go, that's like half of the difficulty completed. Rest in spaghetti. Right. So one other thing that I wanted to talk about in a moment, surrounding horror games in general, and the case that I have about, well, not necessarily LARP tubers, which I have considered joining in recent times, but also just in general the YouTube space in my country, because I feel like it's important for anyone that may be listening to this from that space. All 2 people out of the 7 total views that this video is gonna get, I just know it. And it more so has to do with okay, let me just doesn't look well done to me. In Resident Evil 2 there was cockroaches in one of these. It doesn't appear to be so in here. Again at Morin. Top of the morning. a frick. Minecraft your way out of here. Come on, bro. There we go. That was a recycled joke from Chicken Ninja 42. I'm sorry. So, where was I? Okay. So, the case for YouTubers in my country. As you already know, the fact that I live in quite literally the largest but also one of the most hated countries in the world, that I understand. But I wanted to talk specifically about how the YouTube space was. I mean, it still kind of is in my country. Nice. Also, personally, me, I'm one of those people that Jesus Christ, I cannot get a moment to talk. Personally, I'm one of these people that prefers to watch, more silent content, if that makes sense. I prefer actually digging into the atmosphere of the game and not hearing somebody ramble their way about everything, but it also kind of pains me watching people play games like Outlast or I don't even know, SCP I guess, and then just completely be disinterested in everything just because of the comments or because they think it's boring. Like, the YouTubers that I really like watching other playthroughs of, like, my favorite ones are CM Electric, Minigame, and Student 1989. Unfortunately, the last of the three had passed away in 2018, but besides the point, all three of them are great channels. They're fantastic if you understand the language that they speak primarily during the videos. Unfortunately, there is no dubbing. Oh, that's a nice exit sign. Would be a shame if it didn't work. It would have been a short DLC. They are great channels, but they suffer from the same problem that like 95% of the YouTubers and worldwide suffer from. They play the game like it's not a game, like it's just background noise for them. They're not interested in the story, they're not interested in the proper gameplay, they don't want to understand the characters, they don't take their time to explore anything, they just want to be done with it as fast as possible so they can roll in the video for their paycheck. And that's what pisses me off about them. And that is why it's basically not worth it to watch their playthroughs of Outlast or SCP. Even though CM Electric has done a lot of videos on SCP, Jesus Christ. Another thing I hate about them is that they're very disinterested in playing indie games. Now, in all honesty, in my time, recently I've been kind of also on a disinterest trope in indie games because the majority of the ones that are currently hyping on YouTube, they're all just completely identical to me. Like, I didn't like Celeste, I didn't like Amore, I didn't like Pizza Tower, I really didn't like Deltarune. I do love Hollow Knight Silksong. Even though I haven't played it, I've only watched a couple videos on it, but I really like that game, and I own Hollow Knight for the PS4, actually. But these channels, they're allergic to the word indie, it seems. Every single time I've just watched, like, a good trending indie game just comes out, like not even Silksong, just another particular indie game. And what do these channels have to do? Oh, how about a second playthrough of Alan Wake 2? It doesn't matter if we have already done the playthrough of that, we're gonna play it again. Oh, how about another Assassin's Creed game? Even though we've already finished most of the series, we're going to play more, it doesn't matter. Oh, how about we could play Call of Duty multiplayer? How about we play friggin'... I don't know. How about we just record one episode of Resident Evil 7, call it a bad game, and then just still keep the full playthrough of Resident Evil 6 that we have. I mean, Resident Evil 6 isn't even a bad game, I just think it's kind of idiotic to be skipping out on Resident Evil 7, 8, 2 Remake, 3 Remake, 4 Remake, whatever, and then, but still, like, have positive things to say about Resident Evil 5 or 6, which I don't actually hate them. The thing about Resident Evil 5 and 6, in my opinion at least, is that they're really good, like, co-op games, they're really good, like, shooter games, but they're bad Resident Evil games, if that makes sense. In the sense of how some people consider Breath of the Wild to be one of the best games ever made, but one of the worst Zelda games ever made. You get what I'm saying? And of course, if you could probably paint, anybody who understands what I'm saying will probably already have this idea, or paint the picture, or figure it out from just how I've described their sort of disdain for indie games. All three of these people, they played Outlast, that's fine. They played Amnesia, that's fine. They played like Slender Man, that's fine. They played friggin' I don't know. They played SCP, that's totally fine back when it was viral. And then just all three of them completely skipped Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm not salty or anything, but thinking that the game is going to fail and then it just completely blows up on YouTube, that's just kind of funny to me. I don't know why. Team Electric and Student completely skipped out on the Five Nights at Freddy's series and then proceeded to make playthroughs of Aliens Colonial Marines. I thought that was funny. And also, Minigame and CM Electric made a somewhat positive receival of Black Site Area 51. Another game with like below 50% on Metacritic, I'm pretty sure. And I just think it's kind of funny how throughout the entire... And this applies on basically every single channel I've watched from the home residence country that I live in. And so, I just watched these three specifically because something about their commentary and the way they talk, it kind of reminds me of channels like Technoblade, who are just politely disinterested in a lot of what's going on, and ever since Technoblade's passing, I've been dying to find any sort of channels that scratch that same itch that Technoblade did when I watched them. Right, well, I rambled about that for too long, and I'm pretty sure you guys didn't understand half of what I said, but whatever, we had picked up a document, so let's read it. Excerpt from the recordings of Dr. Bruce Newhouse, MD employed by Mount Massive Hospital 1958 to 1965. Father Clark, far be it for me to lie to a man of God, so let me at least say that I will do my personal best to improve the safety of your working conditions. I and the rest of the staff truly appreciate everything you do for our patients, and if you feel threatened by anybody in particular, simply let us know, and we can either increase chemical restraints or administer lobotomy or similar calming procedure. Or lobotomy for annoying a priest? That seems a little extreme. Don't underestimate the contribution your sermons offer our patients, especially considering the depth and necessarily chaotic nature of hypnotherapy. Our patients need the bedrocks of God and family. Not all of our poor unfortunates have families to call upon, so the burden and calling is yours. We are all of us relying on your faith and hard work. DBNR, Dr. Newhouse, MD, May 20th, 1961. I keep forgetting that this is like a really, really old clinic. Right, well, to avoid the problem that I've had when uploading the final part of Outlast, I'm going to cut this episode short here. And I'm going to still continue playing this game today, but I'm not going to upload everything as one giant file. Makes sense? Makes sense. Alright. For you, it's going to be a day or two. For me, it's going to be literally like 5 seconds. Thanks for watching.